Welcome, everyone. My name is Sarah Ray from the Bloomfield Public Library. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're really excited about this partnership program with Doll's House Foundation. One of our program goals for 2023 is to support the 7 literacies, digital literacy. So we are on the Zoom platform, and financial literacy. And we are so excited to have Madam Money here. So I'm going to turn this over to Meredith.
Well, hello. Welcome. We are nothing less than honored to say that you've come home from your full day of activities and work, and you thought it not right to come to this platform today at 6 o'clock. We know you're tired. We really want to debrief. We've had some preliminary conversations with Madam Money, Miss Jackson. So I believe that this will be a real great platform for you to decompress as you learn about the whole mighty dollar. We are Doll's House Foundation, and some of you know who we are, but for those who do not, we are a foundation. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization developed to promote the ideas of love through the standards of education, public service, spirituality and wellness, and charitable giving. For the Department of Children and Families during the day, so I have to code switch. Doll's House Foundation recognizes that community members often face unforeseen challenges that can temporarily hinder the growth of themselves individually and as a community. Our primary focus is to enhance the community fabric by pouring back into individuals to help them to gain financial stability. This is our 11th year, and on a 5-year cycle, we identify the themes for each year. And coincidentally, this year, we had already identified the theme is financial freedom. Give us liberty or give us debt. Kylie, you want to give us the show of that theme right now? Be having some very well thought out subject matter experts who can tell us how to have this happen, how to have financial freedom, how to have financial wellness. And so without further ado, please reach out to DUALpreneur.com on the World Wide Web. And you will also receive acknowledgements and engagements from none other than our Director of Marketing and Social Media, Khalid Williams, who will tell you a little bit about himself and introduce our subject matter expert in all.
Good evening. Welcome to everyone who is here. I'm so glad you checked in because right now this talk is going to be everything. I spend a lot of time on social media and in the digital landscape, and I am inundated with content that nowadays isn't even made by a human or is made by someone who is trying to manage impressions, trying to simply make $1 through something transactional, or trying to give a false impression of who they are. Those who seek to educate online often miss the mark, and you'll see them have low follower counts and really not make a connection. Then there are the few, I call them the social media diamonds, the people who seek to educate, to inform, and to uplift, but who do it speaking a language that everybody can understand. And I really think that this maven of finance and of keeping it relevant, real, and righteous is a prime example. I'm just going to say a few words about her through kind of just researching her awesome online footprint. Ms. Tarra Jackson, aka Madam Money, is a very popular personal finance expert, media contributor, TV and radio personality, brand spokesperson and brand ambassador, and an award-winning international speaker. And most important and relevantly here, she is the author of Financial Fornication, 4 Financial Languages, The Secret to Communicating About Money, and the DUALpreneur Bible, 10 Commandments to Starting a Successful Side Business. Her professional background is extensive: vice president of lending, corporate trainer, and an interim CEO of an Atlanta GA-based credit union. That means she was the big bank. She's really inspiring. I love the content I saw of her, whether she was hosting another luminary or whether she was the luminary hosted. The content is always real. The content is always positive, and the content always is holding a mirror up to anybody who is listening, to make us really be comfortable about not just earning money, not just investing money, but the thing that we have a problem with beyond that, and that's discussing money. This is a treat. Please just so you know now, MissMadamMoney.com, MissMadamMoney.com. Excuse me, sorry, MadamMoney.com, madmoney.com, and Instagram handle is at MSMoney, sorry, MSMadamMoney. I promise I can spell on Instagram. Please follow. Her follower count is high. She's viral all the time. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Miss Jackson, if you money. Miss Jackson, take it away.
Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna have to take you with me on the road because you made me sound really, really hot and really important. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity. This is a prayer answered because this time last week I had no voice. I had walking pneumonia, didn't know it, and I ended up losing my voice to above a whisper. And my prayer the entire time was, please let me have my voice back for this speaking engagement. So thank you for the prayers answered. Thank you for everyone that showed up, that's listening, that's going to have questions, that's going to interact. I promise you, I'm not that person that's going to sit here and talk to you for 45 minutes, just like a lecture. This is going to be extremely interactive. I need you all to keep me awake as well, because I had a long day too. So I know you had a long day, but I want to make this as informative as possible, but also as impactful as possible, because as you are trying to reach your financial freedom, you need to be communicated in the way that you understand about money. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to manifest the money, but let me share my screen with you so we can just go through this process with the preliminaries. Also, if you are in the chat, please say hi to me. If you're in the chat, we're going to use this chat very frequently. I need you all to say hi. I want to see who's out there in the Zoom land. Hi. Yes. Thank you, Sarah. So if you have access, thank you, Khalid. Carolyn, thank you, Meredith. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Trisha, thank you. Michelle, Yolanda, Beverly, okay, Nicole. We have a full house. Jordan, hey there. West Hartford. I used to date a guy in West Hartford. That's a whole nother conference right there, okay? Shania, I think is it Shania? That's beautiful. Denise, Janice. Thank you, everyone. Nicole, thank you. I think I said Beverly. Yes, thank you, everyone, for showing up, because that's how we're going to communicate right now. But I understand with you all, you want the financial liberty, you want financial freedom, you want to manifest that. And your theme is give me liberty or give me debt. One, don't give me debt. I got enough of it, don't want any more. But we're going to get financial liberty, we're going to get financial freedom. And we're going to talk about how to manifest that. Just to get to know me, Shania, great. Thank you, Janice. Hello, Denise. Just a little bit about me so you know who you're talking to. He did a very good job of doing my bio. Thank you so much. You made me sound very important. Just to really talk about the biggest thing that I love doing is sharing information as a speaker, but also as a contributor for Black Enterprise, for Al Jazeera News, for Fox News, for MSNBC. Also, I've been on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, Get Up with Erica Campbell. And I love those opportunities. One, they only give me about 4 minutes, so they're very impactful, but I have the opportunity to share it with more people, because my heart is that if you're making major money mistakes, so long as you're not suffering in silence, and that you understand that you have support out there, whether it's me or my other colleagues, that's what's most important. And as you're going through your journey in your life to secure your financial freedom, just know that you're not alone. I'm here for you. I can even connect you with some other people. My biggest accomplishment, which is not on here, is that I am a single mother of a 26-year-old baby. Yeah, he's still my baby. I don't know what to tell y'all. My son, he is amazing. But he is the reason why I do when I wake up in the morning and I do what I do. So shout out to all you mothers out there, whether you have daughters or sons, if you're a girl mom or a boy mom, and also your fathers out there that are doing the thing and taking care of your kids to reach those financial freedom for your children. So I wanted to give you a little bit of that. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to manifest money, and there's 5 steps to that. And then we're going to understand the importance of learning about our financial language and what those financial languages are and what your dominant financial languages are and why it's so important. And then I have a financial liberty challenge or a financial freedom challenge for you all. But let's get started with, how are we going to manifest money? How many people want to manifest more money? Just say me in the chat. How many, and I'll put me like 10 times, but how many people want to manifest money, more money in your bank account, more money for your freedom? Yes, me, I want to manifest money. Absolutely. And it's not because I just want the money or that I love money. It is what money can give us. It gives us options. It allows us to support or take care of our families. It allows us to get more time to enjoy experiences. And that's what we really want. The freedom is enjoying the experiences, enjoying the family, having the security and the options to do what we want to do. And money is just the tool. Now, the problem is a lot of people see money as the problem, or they see money as a crutch, or they see money as the end all be all, which is not. Money is just the tool to help you get to what you actually want. So your financial freedom may be to be debt free, but why do you want to be debt free? So that you have options, so you can travel more, so you can do the things that you want to do, to live the life that you deserve. Okay. But there's 5 things that's very important to manifesting money. All right. So the first one, of course, is mindset. You're going to hear that a lot, whether it's from me, whether it's from Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey. Some of you may know a good friend of mine, Tiffany, the Budgetnista, Alicia. I love her. So, we all talk about that. The first thing, the reason why a lot of people are broke is because of their mindset. That law of attraction. They keep saying they're broke, or I don't have enough, or I can't afford that. And anytime you put that in the universe will say, your wish is my command, and it will perpetuate situations that will keep you in bondage, in financial bondage. Have you ever woke up one day and you hit your toe on something, and that pain, and you're like, oh my God, it's going to be a bad day, and you ended up having a bad day? Yeah, that's happened. So what I have begun to do is, when people ask me, how am I doing? Whether it's a good day or a bad day, I always say it's the best day of my life. The reason why it's the best day of my life is because I've never seen it before. And everything after that has to be really, really good. Does that make sense? Right? Yes. And so when we're manifesting money, we have to think positively about money. I can't afford that. I want it. You want to visualize your wealth. What are you going to do? How are you going to feel when you get your debt paid off? How are you going to feel when you see that, large amount of money in your bank account? How are you going to feel when you're able to retire and do what you want to do? I'll give y'all a secret. I want to retire, in my retirement name, or my future self. Her name is called Juanita, right? So Juanita needs a lot of money because she wants to travel the world and have a young boyfriend, whether she's married or not. That's beside the point. But it's going to require me to make sure Juanita has a lot of money. So what I have to do is have that mindset that I can do it, that I have it? What is my lifestyle going to look like? That's what affirmations, are for. But you have to believe it as well, right? So the first thing everybody put in there, M, in order to manifest more money, I have to have a mindset, a positive mindset about money, right? So everybody put mindset in the chat for me. Mindset. And Khalid, I know if you have questions, make sure you come in there. Mindset,
Definitely.
absolutely. And a lot of people miss that because, a lot of people think that if they just do an affirmation, it's going to bring them money. I don't know if some of you are, I'm from a Baptist church, so they'll tell you to, take $1, crumble it up, throw it on the floor, step on it, turn around 3 times or whatever, and all your money's going to come. If you believe it, whatever, but your mind is the most powerful energy force ever. So if you want that new job, or you want to make more money, or you want anything, once you believe it, you ask the universe, you believe it, and then you'll receive it. But you have to be open to believe through your mindset. All right, let's move on. Oh, how to manifest money? Oh, is ownership. Ownership means own your ship. I said it with a P, all right? PP, okay? Ownership. You must own your ship, because a lot of people don't take ownership of their financial situation. Many people blame it on other people, blame it on their ex, blame it on their children. Well, I co-signed with someone and they didn't make the bill, they didn't pay the bill, and it messed up my credit. But we have to take ownership, not only of the good things that have happened, but maybe some of our major money mistakes. Because once we take ownership, we can make changes. So Khalil, it's like me going into your house, right?
Okay, all right.
And I see something and I don't like it,
Mm.
right? And I say, you know what? You need to change that. I mean, quite frankly, you can say, I don't care what you like. I own this house. This is my house. I can make whatever changes I want. You have the power to do that, right? So when you take ownership of your financial situation, you now have the power and the control to make the necessary changes to get you what you want. Does that make sense? And if
That
I say
makes
it doesn't
sense.
make sense, if I say it doesn't make sense, I need y'all to type dollars. Because if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make
Don't make
sense. And if it
I
doesn't
have a
make sense,
question.
it doesn't make dollars. Go ahead.
What if you come up in my house and by you, I mean me, because I've done this in the past, and you knock over 4 or 5 things, and I was just sitting down trying to eat, and you done knocked over everything in my financial house. How am I own that? That ain't my fault.
It is your fault because you let me in your house. You allowed me to come into your house. And you let me stay long enough to knock over 4 things, right? So once we take ownership, now we know, okay, this person can't be in my financial house anymore. You know what I mean? Because if you give me the power, then I have the ownership, and I may mess up some other things. So, we don't want to hear that, oh, somebody else did it. Why is it my fault? One is that mindset, that law of attraction, but that's 2, we have to take ownership and protect our space, mental space, physical space, financial space.
So it sounds like you telling me if that does happen to me, the worst thing I can do is kind of wallow in it, and if I get my mind right, I'm pointing up, I'm in the green.
Right. So if you, like you said, the worst thing you do is wallow in it and have, oh, pity, oh, woe is me, right? What we have to do is say, okay, fine. That is an expensive lesson I learned that will not happen again. Because sometimes the biggest lessons are the biggest mistakes. I made some major money mistakes, but because I made them and I understand the impact of those and how they made me feel, I never want to feel that way again. So I promise you, I'm not going to make that mistake again.
I must have learned a lot about money because.
But you have to be at a point, that's where that mindset, you have to be in a point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when you want what you want, what can you do, people around you, information, things that you do that's going to move you towards what you want? Because a lot of people will say they want to be debt free, but they use their credit card all the time for everything, and then they don't pay it off.
Mm-hmm.
Are those actions moving you towards what you say that you want? Okay. But once we take ownership of it, now we can make the changes because we own it. Because I can't change what I don't own. But if I own it, I can change it all day. N stands for numbers. Know your numbers. You have to know your numbers. If you want to be debt-free, if you want to make more money, if you want to have a bigger savings account, if you want to retire early, because retirement is no longer an age. Retirement is a number. How much is it going to take for you to be able to live the lifestyle that you want? Because a lot of people, they're retiring at 65, but my grandfather passed away at 91. So he had another almost 30 years of life that he had to live. And a lot of people are outliving their income or outliving their retirement because they didn't retire. They didn't save for their retirement. So they have to work longer in life. But then I have some people, some of my clients who retired at 40 because they focused on the number. What dollar amount did they need to live the lifestyle that they want? But you have to know your numbers. That means the numbers that you need to know is you need to know your credit score. You need to know your debt to income ratio. You need to know how much debt, the dollar amount that you're in. You need to know how much credit available you have out there. You need to know what interest rates you're paying on those. You need to know what your sweet spot, what's the number that you need to pay off if you want to pay off debt. You need to know how much do you need to save just for a rainy day or for an opportunity. Okay. And we're talking about it. I'm a spender. I don't save for rainy days. It makes no sense to me. It's raining outside. Can we spend some money? You'll understand when we talk about the financial languages, but you have to understand your numbers. It's just like me. I promise you, I want to lose weight. I really want to be a size 9, like when I was in college. Yeah. Okay. I need y'all to help me keep my lie alive. Okay. I can do it. Okay. I want to be a size 9. But in order for me to be a size 9, I have to understand what is my current weight. I need to understand how many calories am I taking in. I need to understand how many calories am I burning? Am I working out? Am I doing certain things? What is my blood pressure? What is my blood sugar? So there's numbers with my health in order for me to reach a physical goal. It's the same thing with your finances. If you don't know your numbers, you're not going to know if you're progressing or if you're falling back. So it's so important to understand and know your numbers, and don't be afraid of your numbers, because if your numbers are bad now, that means you know what needs to be improved, right? I'll give you an example of how important it is. So I went to the Bahamas in January for a speaking engagement. When I came back, I was severely, severely sick, and I didn't know it because I didn't want to go to the doctor. Why? Because I didn't want the doctor to tell me I was severely sick, right? So I was like, oh, this is just a cough, but I couldn't breathe, right? Oh, it's not COVID because I got my boosters. It got to a point where I was so sick, I begged my dad to take me to the emergency room. I didn't have COVID. I didn't have anything else, but I had bronchitis that turned into walking pneumonia. Had I checked my numbers, had I checked myself earlier, it would never gotten that bad and taken me so long to recover. Some people are financially sick and they don't want to talk to a professional because they're like, oh, I don't want to hear what they're going to tell me. But if you understand where you are right now, it's going to take you less time to recover. The longer you suffer in silence, the longer it's going to take for you to recover to reach your financial goals. Does that make sense? Don't forget to put dollars in there. Does it make sense? Put dollars in there if it makes sense. Right? So we have M, we got to get our mindset right. O, we have to take ownership, own our ship with a P. And then N, numbers, right? Know our numbers. Can you list the numbers we should know again? Absolutely, Nicole. You should know the easiest way to go, your net worth. Your net worth is pretty much all of your assets minus your liabilities, everything that you own minus everything that you owe. That's your net worth. You need to understand how much debt you're in, all of your balances. And then because you need to understand what your credit card balances are, what your mortgage balances are, what your loan balances are, what your payment balances are. That's going to be very important to know also with the interest rate, because if you do want to pay them off, you may want to do what's called the snowball effect for paying off debt. You may want to pay off the smallest amount And then once that's paid off, move to the next smallest amount, or the move to next until you've paid everything off, right? But you're not going to know how to do that if you don't know your balances and know your numbers. You want to know your debt to income ratio. That's going to be important if you do want to get a loan. They want to know how much you owe versus how much you get. Okay. Your debt to income ratio is how much is your total monthly debt divided by your monthly income. That's your debt to income ratio. Okay. You want to understand your credit score. You can get your credit score from Credit Karma, from any of the 3 credit reporting agencies. You do want to pull your credit report. Now, keep in mind, and I'm going to tell you all this, that when you pull your credit score from Credit Karma, from the credit reporting agencies, that's a different scoring model than the one that financial institutions pull, but it does give you a relevancy of where you are as far as your score. Okay. There's hundreds of scoring models for different things, but the consumer scoring model, which is for educational purposes, will at least let you know where you are in a ballpark. So if you're in the 500s, you know, when a financial institution pulls it, you're going to be in the 500s. If you're in the 600s, at least you know if you're in the 700s. But don't get caught up with the variance of that. Understand where you are, because if you want to increase your credit score, now you know what you need to do or take some steps to do that. Okay, so those are the major ones as far as the numbers are concerned, that you want to pay attention to get started. Now, there's other sophisticated numbers. You know, what is your retirement number? How are you going to get that? How much money, you know, what percentage is in your 401k? You know, I say start small and then gradually move up. Okay, start over the counter and then get prescription. Okay. Because a lot of people, they don't want to go to a personal finance person, or they don't want to go to an investment advisor because they don't think they have enough money. Okay, fine. If you don't want to talk to them, let's start small. Let's pull our credit report from annualcreditreport.com. And see our debt. Let's do some of the things that we can do, what I call financial over-the-counter type things. You know, if we want to get out of debt, the first thing we'll need to do is to be financially abstinent. I talk about that in my book, Financial Fornication, right? You want to be financially abstinent. You want to stop using credit so that you can get a handle on your debt and then start paying it down. And then once you feel like you've done everything that you can do, then you talk with a professional, or you talk to someone like me, you know, or the Budgetnista or MyFab Finance. There's so many people out there that can assist you, that provide resources, free resources. And then if you feel like you want to do something a little bit more major, now you can talk to a financial advisor, a financial planner, an accountant to do strategy. There's so many other things, but I'd say do over the counter and then move up to financial prescription. Does that make sense? Dollars. Okay.
Dollars all day.
Does it hurt your credit to check your numbers annually? No, it does. Carolyn, that's a very good question. No, it does not. When you're doing a consumer pull, it does not affect your credit. Now, if you have a financial institution that is pulling your credit, or they're doing what's called a hard hit, where they pull your credit because you gave them permission, that can negatively affect 10% of your credit score. Okay, depending on how many times people pull your credit. But if you pull your credit, it doesn't negatively affect your credit score. Now, you'll see on your credit report, you'll see a hard pull, and then you'll see soft pulls, hard hits and soft hits. Soft hits don't affect your credit score. They're usually getting a general idea of what your credit looks like, but they're not pulling the full report. So a lot of people like, I never gave this person permission to pull my credit. Well, no, they probably pulled it for marketing purposes to market a credit card to you, or not do that. So it provides demographic information and general information, like, do you have a car loan? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have credit cards, so that they can market to you? Okay. And I'm giving you a lot of this information because I ran a financial institution. So, you know, once I left that realm, I repented, turned from my wicked ways, and became a consumer advocate, because I wanted to teach consumers the financial game of chess.
So you know what the man is up to, basically. You know what they're doing, the suits are doing in the rooms, and you bringing it to the folks. I got you.
Yeah, because I was a suit. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I can tell you, so that's why, a lot of people get all bent up about a soft pull. What you'll notice is the people that do a soft pull, you'll probably notice marketing, whether it's spam in your email or whether it's, spam through the mail, or whatever, you'll notice that you'll probably get marketing things for credit cards, or you're about to refinance your car, you're about to pay off your car loan. And like, how do they know I'm about to pay off my car loan? It's because they're doing demographic pull, the soft pull. Okay.
Solar. Yep. That's Sarah wrote in the chat. Solar. Yeah, they sure do. Quick question. It's 6:33, but I remember back in the day, it used to be your credit score was only used for a house. Credit report was used for everything else. Now they've got this consumer number. And there's the three, is there still something different for home ownership that's checked, or is it kind of in that same pool?
No, the home ownership they usually pull all three credit reports. One, they're trying to get the score to see if you meet the minimum requirements, but they're also looking at your credit report. So you have to think of your credit report as two things. One, as a book. You go to the library, you go to the library, you want to get a book, right? You see the title is captivating. If you like the title, you're going to pull it and you're going to open the book and probably read the book because you like the title, right? So your credit score is that title. If they like the title, they're going to open the book, like, your credit report, and read the credit report. If they don't like it, they're not going to waste their time, right?
There you go.
Your credit report is also like the grade book. You have a GPA, but what makes up the GPA is all of your assignments that you've done. If you failed them, passed them, or whatever. Each trade line is an assignment that you did. Based on how your grades are on those assignments, it creates a GPA, which is your credit score. Okay. So that's why you can be late on one thing and it can drop your score 30 points.
Sure can.
Okay. So it's like getting a 0 on an exam, and it drops your GPA from an A to a low B. Okay. All right. So let's go execute. This is self-explanatory. Many people do not reach their financial freedom or their financial goals because they do not execute. They do nothing. They think about what they want to do. They talk about what they want to do, but they do not execute. In order to manifest, you have to have the mindset, taking ownership, knowing the numbers, but now you have to execute what you want, because if you don't do it, it does not get done, and you cannot expect other people to do it. Okay. I'm going to move ahead to why. Why is you? This is the most important thing in dealing with money. You are the common denominator of everything, of your personal, professional, spiritual, as well as financial life. Nothing happens without you. Anything involving you, nothing happens without you. Give you an example. I was dating this guy, right? Okay. I was dating this guy, right? Don't judge me, y'all. So I was having a really bad day. Everybody at my job was getting on my nerves. My family was getting on my nerves. This guy I was dating was getting on my nerves. It's probably why we're not dating anymore. But everybody was getting on my nerves, right? And then one of my friends said, Tara, I hate to say this, but there is a common denominator of what's going on. I said, yeah, everybody's crazy. And they're like, no, it's not everybody, it's you. You are the common denominator. And once you change your mindset, once you take ownership, once you understand your numbers, once you execute, it changes your equation completely, right? You go from being in debt to having more than enough money. You are that common denominator. You have the power. So I want to encourage you to be that common denominator, to make that change in you so that you can change your financial equation for financial freedom. Okay. Yay. Now we know how to manifest money. Okay. So who wants to know about four financial languages? Because I don't have a lot of time, but we're going to do this really quick. Okay. Or they're going to give me more time. I don't know, y'all. Tell them what to do. I don't know what to do.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there some kind of way.
So let's talk about your financial languages. Why is it so important to understand your financial language? It's because people communicate differently about money, right? That's why marriages fail, because of money, because the saver and the spender argues about money. A saver and investor argues about money. They may be saying the same thing, but because they're talking two different languages, they're not understanding, and then they argue. They have cash controversial conversations. They have financial fights. They have budget battles, right? And so once you understand your financial language, your dominant financial language, you, one, know how you need to be communicated about money. Two, you understand how you need to be fiscally bilingual around you. That's going to serve you, whether it's to help you with a spouse or a mate or a child or a business relationship, and how they communicate about money. Or if you want to advance in certain areas, you're going to have to learn the language of those areas so that it will serve you, and you can do better with money in those areas. Okay.
All right.
So let's talk about it. There are 4 dominant financial languages. Okay. They're saving, spending, investing, and giving. All right. So we're going to do a quick exercise. Quick. I want y'all to put this in there. So what do you feel is your dominant? Now, you could be fiscally bilingual. You can speak multiple languages, but what is your dominant financial language? How you determine your dominant financial language is if I were to drop $1 million in your account, nobody knew about it, right? What's the first thing you would want to do that's going to bring you joy? Not what you're supposed to do, not what everybody tells you to do, whatever. You can only pick one. Nicole, pick one. I understand. Y'all pick one. Are you going to save some? Are you going to go out and spend or pay off debt? Or they're just, I promise you, I'm going to be gone. People won't know where I am if I hit $1 million. They're going to be like, Madam Money, where's Madam Money? I'm gone. I'm spending it. Giving, will you give some to church, to nonprofit, or would you invest some in real estate and stock market and businesses or whatever? So what is your dominant financial language? Saving, spending, investing, and giving. Okay. Shout out to all my spenders. Don't be afraid to be a spender. Shoot, we're the best as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, whatever. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people don't want to admit they're spenders because they think it's bad. None of the languages are bad, better, or worse than the other. Okay. A saver is not better than a spender, not better than a getter, not better than an investor. What makes them all bad is excess. You can oversave and hoard money and not enjoy life or whatever, or not save for retirement. You can spend all your money. You can give all your money away. You can invest all your money and lose it. So anything in excess is what makes it bad. Okay. So Denise, that's what I'm talking about. Shania, stop playing. Pick one. Spender. All right, Marcia. Don't toggle that fence, girl. Giving, Yolanda. Meredith, saver. Okay. Carolyn, spender. Good job. Good job. Trisha, I'm assuming that's a spender. Okay, good job. So I'm gonna share some of the traits of of each language, and you all tell me if I'm telling the truth or if I'm lying. Y'all can put facts or you can put lies in there, okay? Facts or lies. So all my savers out there, y'all respond if this is true or if it's not, if it's facts or if it's lies. All of my savers, okay? So my savers, they are very detailed oriented. That means they love creating plans. There's a plan for everything, right? They're disciplined. They love budgets. They love the word budget, right? Because budget allows them to control their money and know where the money's going. They're determined. They're goal setters. They create goals because that helps them to reach what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. And they're dedicated account growers. They love seeing their savings account grow. They love seeing their savings account grow. And if their savings account goes below a certain threshold, they will freak the heck out. So my savers, is that facts or lies about you? Jordan says facts. Sarah, she's like, big facts, kind of sort of that. Yes, freak out. Yes, Meredith. Yes, you all will freak out. Like, where is my money? No. And then, and here's the thing. If it gets below a certain threshold, for whatever happens, anytime you ask them for money, they have no money. No, I don't have any, because they're protecting their assets. Like, can I borrow some? No, I don't have any money. They're sitting on 10,000, but because it's below 15, they don't have any money, right? Okay. Marcia said, yeah, that's my husband. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the spenders. Shout out to my spenders. So with us, and I'm a spender, okay? So long as you all understand. Well, I'm fiscally bilingual, but my dominant language is spending. So we're eager, we're very impatient, and we're erratic and impulsive. You know that when you go to like Walmart or Target or whatever, you know, when you go down the aisle and they have all those trinkets and everything that you have to go through before you reach the register. Yeah, they created that for us because we see it, we like it, we buy it. We're not going to go out and shop around. That's too much. That's too much of a headache, whatever. If I see it, I like it, I buy it. And the transaction, we get very enthusiastic about the transaction. There's something organic and orgasmic about the transaction. I don't know what it is. It could be $1 for a stick of gum, or it could be $1 million. We love the transaction. And I tell you, retail therapy is very real for us.
It is. Yes, it is.
As long as you understand, if we want to feel better, we're spending money on something, whether it is a trinket, whether it's clothes, shoes, food, liquor, don't judge us, whatever. And
The dollar store saved my life.
Come on, I'm just saying. Don't hate, I'm just saying. And we're easily persuaded. There's a 4-letter word that we just cannot resist. Can anybody tell me what that 4-letter word is? Y'all know what this is.
I'll give the chat 3 seconds. There, yeah. Woo!
There y'all go. There you go. Got my spinners in there. We didn't need it. We weren't going to buy it, but because it's on sale, it's now important. I'm just saying. Hey, you ever been? Kroger was really good for this. You can buy 10 loaves of bread for $10. They had it on sale. I barely eat 1 loaf of bread, but because they had $1 for 10 loaves, I'm sorry. I'll freeze them bad boys, right? Okay. All right. Facts. I stopped to spend before coming. Good job, Carolyn. Love it. All right. So let's talk about my givers. I love my givers because they're special. One, they're altruistic. They focus on others. It's all about how can I help you or how can I help others? They're resourceful. They share their resources, whether it's money, contacts, whatever. If they have it, they will share it. They're trusting. They believe that people are innately good. People do bad things, but people are innately good. And they're socialistic. They enjoy sharing. They enjoy helping other people. So you have those worker bees in the nonprofits. Those are usually the givers. They're going to give their time, their resources, their money. They're going to do that. But what's so unique about givers, that I love about givers, is that they're innately fiscally bilingual. Innately. Why? Because if a giver can give money, they're probably also a saver because they have the money to give. If a giver gives gifts, they're probably a spender because they love buying gifts, not for themselves, but they love buying gifts for other people. And if a giver gives to like businesses, nonprofits or investments or whatever, they're probably investor. That's where your angel investors. Right. And you all do get mad if everyone around you is not like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Now the investor, what I love about my investors are players. Now don't take this the wrong way. It doesn't mean you're a player. It just means you are strategic and you're a risk taker. You understand risk. You understand that there are high wins and there are losses, but you're willing to play the game. You're patient. You're not driven by emotions. Unlike the rest of us, especially spenders, we will spend based on emotions sometimes. That's what gets us in trouble. But you're not, so if the stock market is going down, you're not emotionally tied to the stock market going down. You see that as an opportunity to buy more stock because now the stock's on sale. Buy low, sell high, right? So you understand that you're participants, you're active learners. If you want to learn something, you want to invest in something, you're going to go and actively seek information or ask the questions to do that. And you're passionate. You love the return on investment. Everything you do is about the ROI, the return on investment. Okay. Is that true for my investors that are out there? Do I have any investors? Any facts or lies for my investors? Okay. Great. So I'm not going to go through the dialects, but I am going to give you some tips for when you all are talking to each of these languages. Okay.
Ooh, it seemed like no matter what language folks speak, and when they start talking, especially when it's in relationships, it goes left quick.
Yes. Yes. And the reason why is because certain words that you use are triggers. And I talk about that in my book, 4 Financial Languages, that when you say certain things to certain people, they trigger, positive or negative, they trigger certain things, right? So for example, and I'll just go to spenders right now. Now, when you're talking to spenders, you can't tell us we can't spend money. I dare you to tell me I can't spend my money, because I will spend my money, your money, and everybody else's money. I promise you, I'm going to do it, right? And you got to use terms that are liberating, like a spending plan. Don't use the word budget, right? We don't like the word budget. Semantics, but when we hear budget, we hear diet, die, deprivation, I can't, no. And we just don't have time for that negativity in our life. We're just saying, right? So we need to understand a spending plan, because I will spend money on savings. I'll spend money on giving, and I'll spend money on investing, right? The reason why I'll spend money on savings is to spend later. That's why I said I don't understand saving for a rainy day. Asinine, means nothing to me. I will save so that we can go travel. I will save for my future self, Juanita, for retirement. We save on purpose, okay? So long as y'all understand that, okay? So, but don't tell a spender not to spend money. Now, how you can do that is to, instead of saying, you know, we're on a budget, we can't spend any more money, we got to save up and all of that, we're just going to completely go against everything you just said. What you can say to us is, hey, we have an extra $200 to spend this month. Good job with, you know, complying with the spending plan. What are we going to do with the $200? We've already had in our minds in 2 seconds of how we're going to spend the money. But as long as we have boundaries, we're good. But if you tell us not to spend any money at all bets are out the door. Does that make sense? Okay. Now with the savers, you want to talk to them about, and the savers are very special, because if you don't talk to the saver right, they will become wealth wardens. Okay. If they are the keeper of the finances, you will not have access to any money. My sister is a saver. And then when she gets scared or whatever, they're like, well, can we buy pizza? She'll like, here's $5, go to Little Caesars. And I'm like, well, is Little Caesars still $5? You know, so you got to be very, very careful with savers. Okay. You want to talk about ways to keep the transaction within budget and to grow their savings. Assure them that the financial transaction will not affect their savings or the financial security, and ask them for options to save money. So for example, you want to buy something. Instead of saying, hey, I want to buy a new TV, you know, big screen TV that I just saw at Walmart. They're going to be like, we have 5 TVs. We don't need any more TVs. We're good. Okay. Even though they're all 4 of them don't work and they have the big, you know, big butts in the back now. Okay. But what you can say is, hey, we need a new TV. Meredith said, watch yourself.
She did. Yeah, she said, because
you right. I'm telling on you, just saying. So what you can say is, Meredith, we do need a new TV because the other ones don't work or whatever, but can you help me find one that's on sale or reasonable, that's within our budget, that can help us, you know, with the house or what we want to do? As long as you say, can you help me shop around within budget and help us save some money? Not saying the saver will ultimately say yes, but the saver will think about it instead of just going to them saying, can we spend money? Please do not hide transactions from them. Don't be financially, don't do financial infidelity. Don't do it. It's not a good thing. Please don't avoid involving them in the transaction. If you try to hide the transaction from them, they will find out. And don't betray their financial trust. If you take money out of their account without their approval or knowledge and they find out, the money that you think you had there will suddenly be gone because they will hide that money into another account that you know nothing about. They will protect their money. Okay. I had a boyfriend who did that to me. That's another conference or whatever. We had a joint account. I took money out of it without consulting him. He was like, fine. And he left me with the money that I put in there and took all of his money and put it in another account. I asked him, what did he do with the money? He was like, doesn't matter. It's my money.
Around
Okay.
here, they call that vex money.
Ah,
Vex money.
vex money. Don't do it. Don't betray a saver's financial trust. Don't do it. Been there, done that. All right. So let's talk about the, we talked about spenders, the givers. Explain how the transaction will help them be able to give more. They are givers, they want to give. Okay. Talk to them about the transaction and how it will help more people and celebrate their language of giving. So don't tell a giver not to give money, or don't make them feel bad about giving, because what they'll do is they'll still give. You just won't know about it. That's why you have dads that will give their daughters money without the mom knowing, because mom said, stop giving her money. It's not going to stop him from being a giver. It's not going to stop me as a mother for giving my son some money, even though his dad said don't give him any money. I'm just not going to tell him, but still going to give. So we just need to celebrate their giving and then talk about a better way to give that's going to help them to give more. One of the things givers don't do is they don't put their financial mask on first. They give to the world, and then the world can't give back to them. So I encourage you, if you are a giver, make sure that you give to yourself, you spend on yourself, you save on yourself, you invest in yourself, so that you have the ability to give more to more people in the future. Does that make sense?
I like it.
All right. And the last one, when talking to investors, talk about their return on investment, right? But you got to be honest about it. They're very okay with risk and rewards. They understand if they're going to invest money, there's a possibility to lose it. But they know that if they invest it right and they, do the research, it could be big rewards. So don't hide anything from them. Share the details of the transaction. It's okay if you do not know. Just say, I don't know. Let's find out, right? Because if you try to avoid their questions or you don't include them in the decision process, they will kill the deal and they will not do anything. And what you don't want an investor to not do is invest, especially when you need it. Especially like, for example, this is really good for nonprofit organizations, right? You don't want a volunteer or someone that decides they don't want to invest in your organization because they don't have the information necessary to make them feel comfortable with the transaction. Does that make sense?
I like
So
that.
they're going to have lots of questions. Investors have lots and lots of questions. And some of the questions we don't know. But
So
that's
come
why we
ready
have other resources.
and be ready to answer. I find sometimes when we have lack of knowledge in finance, the person with the lack of knowledge gets upset because they feel they're being challenged. The person
Right.
asking the question gets upset because they feel like you're being shady.
Exactly. And so that's when you have to incorporate a professional, because if you don't know all the answers, you're probably not going to, or maybe not supposed to. That's why you have a professional. That's why you have the investment advisor. That's why you have the organization CEO or, the organization founder that can answer those questions for them, because you're not going to get around the fact that they have questions. As a true investor, you should have questions before you're going to invest money because of the risk factor. That's why as a financial institution, I'm asking you all kinds of questions on your application to give you a loan, because there's risk in me giving you a loan. So I'm going to ask for references. I want to know their name, their phone number, their email address, because if you skip out, I at least know some people that know you that can get in contact with you if I need to skip trace you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So investors think kind of the same way, that I need to know as much as possible. So at least if I lose the money, it's not because I didn't know. It's because I just took the risk.
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. So the financial challenge, the financial liberty challenge, I need you to answer these two questions tonight for yourself. You don't have to answer them to me. But I need you to think about, what is financial freedom? What is financial liberty to you? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because it's different for everyone. One size does not fit all. It doesn't matter what Dave Ramsey says, Susie Orman says, it doesn't matter what I say, it doesn't matter what anybody says. What matters is what it matters to you. What is financial freedom? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What do you want? And it may go outside of the norm, and it's completely okay, because it's all about you. You're that common denominator. And then the second question is, what step will you take immediately to move towards that financial liberty, that financial freedom? Okay. So I'm just asking you to do one step, whether it is to go to the library to get the book, it is to purchase the book, it's to schedule consultation with me, it is to continue, register for the next event, financial event, whatever it is talk to a financial professional. It is to pull your credit report from annualcreditreport.com to look at your credit. I just need you to take action on one thing. But first, identify what truly matters to you. And then everything that you do thereafter, if you want to spend money, save money, invest money, or give money, does it fit within the realm of what your financial freedom goal is? If it doesn't, don't do it. If it does, do it with vengeance and do it with support. You don't have to do it alone. Okay. So I thank you all. Keep in touch with me. This is my social media, my website. If you want to purchase a book, whatever, just for you all, I'm giving 25% off. And you just use the code DHF. But I know that the library will have some books as well. But if you would like to do that, or if you want to schedule some time with me to talk with me, feel free to email me or go to my website and schedule a consultation. But I've really enjoyed you all. You are very communicative. I love it. Now we just need to open it up for questions, because I know I went over my time. And thank you, Meredith and Khalid, for allowing me to go over a little bit more. I appreciate you.
Well, and the reason, Ms. Jackson, through number one, you showed up for us with the gusto, with the excitement that you did on the major multinational platforms. That means a lot. That shows where your heart, your soul, and your head is. Also, through my journey, I have learned that I can't have anything until I do something. I can't do something if I don't be something. Through all of your information, your don'ts, you can't not something, and all of your don'ts were don't negative, do the positive. These actionable items that are getting us into doing and implementing instead of eliminating. I tried to quit. I just quit smoking, Lord have mercy. And I had to become smoke-free. Before taking the thing out didn't work. Adding another element to my life did. And it just shows that you're serving with a spirit through all of this. That is what keeps folks connected. That's what changes folks' lives. So this really means everything. This information has been locked up for a long time. And bringing information to the people is an honorable charge.
And I so appreciate that. And thank you for the opportunity to share the information. It is passionate. I'm very passionate about this. And the reason why is because I've worked with several couples, several individuals, several corporations where money made, it was the demise of relationships, right? And I always say that money should not have the power to kill something that God has put together or that God has created, right? It's just a tool. And once we understand how to use it as a tool, then we know how to, money, when we talk about money, we should have fun. A lot of people, when they talk about money, they get stressed out quickly because they don't have enough, or it's being taken away from them, or they're not getting enough. And so now we need to change that and turn it into a tool that's going to help us to live the lifestyle we want, because that's what we want. We want the lifestyle. We
want that lifestyle. We have a question in the chat, and this is very prevalent in our time, from Miss Carolyn Almeida. She's thinking of applying for a credit card that garners travel points. But right now, she wants to know, is this not a good time to do it, given the change in interest rates and the fact that the airlines are playing with the points?
Mm-hmm. So it depends, right? So the interest rate doesn't matter if you pay it off, right? So even if your interest rate is 20%, 30%, If you pay it off, it's 0%.
Mhm.
You should only be concerned about the interest rate if you plan on holding that balance for a significant period of time, right?
Right.
As a financial institution, get my 30% card. If you want to put $10,000 on it and pay the minimum payment, that's good for me. That's
Do
revenue
you?
for me, right? But
Right.
as a
Right.
consumer advocate, is why are you going to give them the money? Right. So even if you said, oh, I have a 9% credit card, well, if you paid off every month, it's 0%. So I need us to get in the habit of using the card on purpose, paying it off so we don't have to pay the interest, but it goes towards points. So I have a client where she gets paid once a month. And at the end of the month, she uses her check to pay her credit card. So how she uses her credit card, because she gets cash points as well as travel points. So she relatively travels for free. Everything throughout the month, her bills, everything that she pays for is with her credit card. And when she gets paid, she pays the credit card off, right? And so she has a strategy behind using the card. I have a travel credit card. Every time I travel, I use a credit card and then I pay it off. Why? Because it gives me more points. So when I do travel for, fun or whatever, I can stay in a hotel for free, or I can upgrade my travel because that's what's important to me. So find a credit card that gives you points on what's important to you. Some people like the cash, the cash rewards. Yeah, the airlines, they may be, or the credit card companies may be doing some things with the points, but you got to pay attention. There are some out there that still give good points and they give you double points, but you have to use it on purpose. Don't have it just to have it. Don't use it just to use it, because then that's not going to serve you later in the game towards your goal. I hope I answered that question.
A lot of people get into the world of finance because I've got friends, they've invested in stocks because it sounded good. I got friends that in 2020 sunk money into crypto because that was the hot thing. Now, crypto is going to have its place, but doing it just because is a huge issue in this environment. So acting on purpose is awesome. That's why I get my points in Amazon, so I can spend because I'm a spender, and that's it.
And so when you know what it is, there's things that I will do because I am who I am, and there's places I won't go because I am who I am, right?
Right.
So because I'm a spender and I love gadgets. So my thing is gadgets, food, and liquor. Don't judge me, right? I love a good bar, okay? So with gadgets, because I am a gadget queen, if I go into a Best Buy, I'm buying something. I don't understand window shopping. It's the most asinine thing in the world. I don't understand it. It's like being hungry, going to a steak restaurant, smelling the steak, looking at the steak, and walking out not buying a steak, and you're still hungry. Makes no sense to me whatsoever, right? Grandmother used to put me through that torture. Oh, we're just going to shop around, look around, and not buy anything? Whatever. But I don't go to Best Buy unless I have a reason to go on purpose. I'm not going to just go hang out at Best Buy. I'm not going to just go hang out at the mall because I'm going to buy something, right? So I don't even shop. I don't even like shopping because I know that if I go shopping somewhere, I'm going to spend more. So when I know what I want, I go get it and then I leave because I know who I am. And as long as you understand who you are and you respect who you are, you understand your limitations.
Sounds like a lot of this about is getting real with the self. I love that.
That was me with crypto, Camille. Yeah, crypto. I'm not a big crypto person. I've invested a little bit, but the only thing I will say, if you're not familiar with what you're investing in, only invest the amount that you are able and willing to lose. Okay, I'll repeat that. When you're very unfamiliar with it, but you want to get your feet wet in it, only invest the amount of money that you are able and willing to lose because you don't have enough knowledge base to understand how it's going to perform. So you won't get mad if you lose the money. All right. So what I tell people all the time is, I had a lot of people that, when I think it was when Google and Amazon, when they did their split, right? They did their 21 split. I bought like $500 worth of Google. $500. And people said, why did you buy $500? One, they have a 20-to-1 split. So, yeah, I'm going to do it. They're going to go up, but they're going to go
Right.
down, but they're going to go up, right? But I didn't spend $500 that I needed. That was my cash or my savings. I gave $500 that if I lost $500, it was what it was. If I spent
There you go.
it was $500 I would have spent anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it wasn't a big deal. So when stock started going down, I wasn't really mad. All I knew was, okay, it's going down. It's cheaper. Yeah, I lost money on the front end, but now it's on sale. So now I can buy some more stock, because what I know about Google and Amazon is the stock is eventually going to go up. I don't know when, but I am marrying the stock. I'm not dating it.
Wow.
And
Long term.
a lot of people want to put a whole bunch of money into a stock and date it and get mad when it doesn't work out. And then they leave when things get bad
Mm-hmm.
and don't want to invest anymore.
Serial stock monogamists out here. That is awesome. Yeah, learning is important, because I own Tesla when it split, and the night of, you see that number hit the roof. I said, oh, I'm rich. Yeah, no, then I had to learn what a stock split was, but knowledge is power. That is awesome. Tarra, we really, really, really appreciate this. This is the liberty that we're talking about, and this was so right on time with our theme and the values of our organization. Do you have any last remarks before we turn it over to our fearless leader and queen of our organization?
The last thing I can say is, again, don't suffer in silence. Don't think you have to figure all this out by yourself. There's so many resources that are out there. But most importantly, when you have a support team, even through the Dolls House Foundation and the resources that they're providing, having an accountability team, having, people that have the same goals or relatively same goals, and talking about the challenges that you're facing, some options, you can learn so much within your group. But, find an accountability partner, a financial accountability partner. Get with a financial coach. I do financial coaching, especially with couples and individuals and business owners, but you don't have to do it yourself. But, the first thing, ask Google. She's a girl, she knows everything, but not really. So make sure you go and get it backed up by a professional, because you can't believe everything you read on social media. So make sure you back it up with professional advice.
That is awesome. Again, Ms. Jackson, thank you. Thank you for your time. I know the one thing that I'm going to do, my first move is, I've already tried to manifest that my number is 20 million, but I don't check my accounts every day. I can't get there if I don't. So my first move is to check my accounts every day. And
check your accounts, but don't let anyone tell you, oh, that's unrealistic. Because once someone tells you it's unrealistic and you have doubt, it's never going to manifest. So you have to believe if that's your number and you believe that's your number, you're not supposed to figure out how you're going to do it. That's not how the universe works, right? So you may get it if you believe it. I tell people all the time, there's some people that are millionaires that probably should not be millionaires.
yes.
But because they believe in what they believe, the universe gives them situations that make them millionaires.
45
it's the
times.
1% of the world that understands it. But everybody
That's
else, 99% of the world doubts it, and 99% of the world is broke. So there's got to be something to that 1% of the law of attraction.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to turn it back over to our fearless leader here. Folks, thank you so much for participating.
I didn't think I was going to get it back. I thought you, because
I'll take it on.
But I like it. I like your thing there. I like your thing there. And Ms. Jackson, I certainly, as one of our board of directors, she can just give a quick shout out, because she is the one who blessed the connectivity. And I will suggest to you, honest disclosure, that I reached out first, but I didn't know Ms. Jackson, Miss Tiffany, at the time I reached out to her. Yes, but I tell you what, this is certainly anointed. This is an anointed presence. Camille, you want to say hello to the folks?
I was going to say
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I'm in the Apple store because my AirPods, but I said I'm going to make it on. But thank you, Miss Jackson. You actually came to Alfred Street Baptist Church, where I'm a member, and we bought
Yeah.
your book and have been so blessed. And I will probably be reaching out to you personally for some further counseling and coaching. You just have such an anointing to help people see the possibility of financial empowerment. Your book changed my life, and I was blessed to have a father who taught us well about finances, but we can always learn more. So I just appreciate you and what you do for our community and for the world to help us see, like I said, the possibility and the beauty of being financially empowered and how you can focus on using your gifts and all the other ways when you don't have to worry about money, and you can use your money as a blessing. So you are a blessing. And I know you have been such a blessing on this program and all of the programs that you do. So thank you so much. And I will continue to let people know about you.
Well, thank you so much for the referral and for connecting me to more amazing people like yourself. I so appreciate it. And as I mentioned to Meredith, I think at the time when I spoke at Alfred Street Baptist, I think it was probably good that I didn't really understand what Alfred Street Baptist was and who the pastor was. I probably would have been extremely intimidated, but you all took me in like family, and I'll never forget my experience with Kaya. That was one of my great experiences. I actually put it in my sizzle reel. So that was really awesome. So thank you, Camille. I love you and appreciate you.
Well, they are important. I type in Alfred and Alfred Street Baptist Church come right up. And they got an app. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All
Big
very
time.
that. I love it.
Big
Awesome.
time.
Awesome.
But they treated me like I was a member in like my home church. So it felt like home when I was there. So I really appreciate them and out there and what they're doing in the community.
And that's what Doll's House is all about. Folks, please look in the chat for ways to interact with Doll's House. Linktree.com/Doll's House Foundation will bring you to all of our links, especially a path to apply for grants and to donate to our cause. Thank you for spending this time. Ms. Sarah Ray, you are up. Please.
I have one
Tara.
more thing. I have two. I just want to let you know, I do have a podcast out there called Financial
Financial
Fornicating with
Fornication. I'm a avid
Financial
listener.
Fornicating with Madam Money and Friends. And so I have a lot of my financial friends that come on and talk about money issues that could be resources to you as well. So if you go to, I'll put the link out there to my link tree as well. But if you go to
we'll throw it on ours too.
Yeah, if you go to financialfornicatingpodcast.com, you'll see the amazing interviews that I've done on there. So again, it's financialfornicatingpodcast.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And Sarah, thank you for running these amazing programs and facilitating this. And I'll turn it over to you to close.
I would just like to thank everybody for participating, and this video will be on YouTube. So I'm going to stop the recording now.